Another Sunday matinee edition of Knicks Post Game Live. CP Ashley, J. Ellis in the building. Guys, you know what? Julius came out to play today. Julius came out against a starving Miami Heat team. But this Heat defense was swarming all night, and the Knicks just could not adjust. They kept it close and even found a window to take this thing in the end. Just lack of execution down the stretch. Questionable lineup and rotation decisions by the coach, which we'll touch on. And just timely hoops by the Heat allowed them to take this game 109-103. Knicks fall to the Heat in this Sunday matinee. JLs, what were your thoughts on this game, man?
Man, I thought the first quarter started, and I was like, oh, this is the type of game it's going to be?
Yeah.
You were off to the
Julius
races.
and Bullock had it cooking. Julius and Bullock had it cooking.
Yeah. Exactly. Bullock had 6 threes in the first half.
Yeah.
Knicks won a 15-5 run in the first quarter, but then the Heat turned it on. They go 20-8, and then next thing you know, we're in a fight for our lives in the second half. And you realize, you know what? It's cool that Bullock, he had 6 threes in the first half, but he finished with 7. So, like, as usual, the Knicks run out of bullets, and the Heat win the game. And you know what? We kept it close. We had some nice moments from the second unit. They tracked quickly. He made some nice passes out the trap, and we saw Obi Toppin go off for a few points in a row. But at the end of the day, we couldn't keep up with the Heat's offense. I feel like their offense, man, they're so tough to stop because they just constant movement, constant passing, constant cutting, and then they have shot makers on top of that. And then when you add Jimmy Butler to the mix, who didn't really play well, but he's still just
effective.
Effective. Then it's hard just to overcome and beat that team.
Agreed. Ash, what you think about this game today?
Yeah, I mean, agree with all of JL's points. And as you guys know, I know this team very well. I've covered them for over a year now. And one of the most dangerous things about the Heat, and don't let their record fool you, is that they have shooters. And at any given time, that ball can be in anybody's hand. And that ball more than likely is going to fall wherever that shot is shot. So I think today the Knicks realize that you cannot turn the ball over against a team like Miami, because they will go ahead and take advantage of it every single time. And yes, there were opportunities that they had to go ahead and take advantage of turnovers, and shots just weren't falling. But the thing about having shooters is shooters shoot, and eventually those shots start to fall. And then, you bring Jimmy Butler back into the mix, who again didn't have that impressive of a game from a scoring standpoint, only 17 points. He wasn't the leading scorer on the floor, but what he does when he's out there is he facilitates the game. He's making sure the pace is going. He's making sure guys are doing what they need to do. And more importantly, he's really crafty at getting to that line and getting those free throws and helping his team any way that he can. So I think you just showed today just how well-oiled machine Miami really is when they have all of their pieces. And Tibbs is going to have to make some serious adjustments, and I think he will for the rematch on Tuesday, because now he has some film on what they look like when they're a complete unit, which, we haven't seen from them in a while because of COVID and other things. But yeah, they're definitely going to have to make the adjustments. The shots were falling for New York. It was a back and forth. We were trading baskets, trading leads. Yeah, but we ran out of time, and at the wrong time.
I would say my positives once again, Julius Randle, 26 points, double-digit boards, 7 dimes, came to play. Heat threw everything at him, whether it was Bam, Iggy, Iguodala, or Jimmy Butler. Julius was just in his bag, very patient, very good from the 3-point line when we needed it. I thought him and Reggie Bullock, really had great chemistry going in the first half, man. Bullock's energy was prolific on both ends of the floor. Shout out my guy Papa Left. Papa Left bet J. Ellis yesterday on a
I thought about that.
for Reggie Bullock hitting over 5 3-pointers in the game, and I told him take the under. He missed it yesterday. Today, Reggie Bullock, 7 3-pointers in the game. But that bet was not available to be made today. So sorry. Sorry to Papa Left, man. But You know, on the downside, obviously RJ had an off night tonight, and give credit to the Heat because Spoelstra, he's an excellent coach, and he's an excellent coach at making adjustments. We knew that over the past few games where RJ was red hot, he was coming off of that pick and roll, getting to the nail, getting downhill, and either distributing for the Gotham Mob or able to finish or draw the foul. The Heat did an excellent job by blitzing him, trapping him on those pick and rolls, pushing him away from the basket, and taking away his driving lanes, and also some of his passing vision as well. I didn't think that Tibbs and the Knicks did a great job adjusting to that all night.
Yeah.
I thought Quickly did a good job on that one play where he got it to Taj, who was standing there, came back to the ball in the middle of the court. Taj got it and then got it to Obi, who slammed it in. But I think all night, the Heat did a great job of really trapping the Knicks ball handlers and getting them off their rhythm. And I think that really was a big impact in this game and the lack of adjustments thereof. Go ahead, James.
No, I agree with you, man. It put even more pressure on the Knicks to make shots in the second half. And I think that's a lot of reason why you didn't see RJ in the second half, because he thought maybe we just need more shot makers, you know? So let's try something else. And RJ ended up sitting. And then, like, we didn't really answer the bell. We tried the best we could. We cranked the defense. You know, it was a slug match. It
was a battle, man. It was a battle all day. Several lead changes, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think...
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just saying, if you look through the stats are like 1 and 2 points apart with percentages, rebounds, assists, all down the line. It was a slugfest, but you know, the Heat edged out the win. So
yeah, man. Go ahead, Ash.
I think also this speaks to the difference in coaching with the Heat and with the Knicks, because if you look, Coach Spo is, I think, you know, super underrated with a lot of, you know, people, fans in the NBA. They think, you know, he's a puppet and things like that. He's an extremely well-versed coach. He knows when to make the adjustments. He knows when to make the proper adjustments. He knows his team. He knows the inner workings of his team. And that's where we as fans, Knicks fans, want Tibbs to get. I think, again, speaking to his rotations, they confuse us. It doesn't work with what's happening on the court. It's almost like trying to put a triangle into a square peg. You can keep trying to put it in there. It's not going to go in. It doesn't belong there. So you have to figure out how to adjust when your plan A isn't working. And I think this is what we're still trying to figure out with Tibbs or Tibbs needs to figure out with himself, is exactly how to adjust when what his game plan was is no longer the game plan that's conducive for winning a game.
Yeah.
So
and then he were able to take away our bread and butter, which is getting into the paint, and also Knicks didn't finish too well at the paint. You know, Peyton was back to his bad Peyton bag. Mitch had a couple bunnies, especially down the stretch, that, you know, could have helped shift the tides of this game, but just couldn't convert on those. You got to be able to execute, man. And I just thought the decision making down the stretch, whether it was a 5-second violation or trying to avoid another 5-second violation, having to burn your last timeout with 1:48 seconds left, you know, those type of sidelines out of bounds or after timeout execution, you got to get that down. You know, you got to get that down when you're a team like the Knicks. You know, another questionable portion of the game was we finally got to see Obi start cooking. You know, he gets a drive on Iguodala. He knocks down a 3. You know, they're able to break the trap, and he gets the dunk, timeout, and he's gone. You see Julius back in, which is okay. Julius came back in fine. But then Peyton coming back in and having a lineup of Peyton, Julius, Rivers. I think Burks was the other guard. And then you had Taj. My guy Taj did his numbers. Taj was good in his minutes down the stretch.
Taj was looking all right.
But, I mean, Obi and Quickly was getting us going in that fourth. Momentum, Tibbs. And then all of a sudden you come back with a cold Peyton and Rivers, the Hudson River actually has been frozen. It's a pond right now. They ice skating on the Hudson River right now. That's how cold he's been. That's the real frozen tundra right now.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really feeling that. The RJ thing I was okay with because he did try to go with his shooters down the stretch with Bullock, Burks, and Quickly, Randle, Mitch. I like that lineup, but I don't know. The rotations down the stretch was kind of questionable.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I've been saying it all year. It's like I just want equal treatment, man. If the vets have it going, they let them rock. If the young cats got it going, he still ends up pulling them. It's a tougher for me when you pull Obi for Randle because I understand it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Than a Quickly for Elf, because I just know you just need Elf. You know, you just like every time, this is the second day in a row, you guys. He pulled quickly for our elf, and then ends up putting quickly back in anyway.
And Benji puts it back in anyway. He's like, "Oops, my bad. Go ahead."
Exactly. So it's like, let's just cut that step out.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Just keep it consistent.
Just keep it consistent.
Keep it consistent.
But like, if there was a time to leave OB in, today would be the time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna super kill him for it today because Randle, had it going. But it would have been nice to see OB get some more running when he was getting hot too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I just would have tried it a little bit. You still had Bam and Olynyk out there, and I would have tried it. I would have tried it with Julius at the small ball 5 and keep OB in there. OB had it going, man. He had the energy going, and I just thought I didn't like how they took him out. I didn't like how they took him out that game, man.
Yeah, man. 7 points in 9 minutes. Hit a 3 earlier. I'm like, all right, let's see. Maybe he can stretch it for a little bit. Maybe he can get it going. Like, let's. But it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's frustrating. I like what Tibbs is doing, but it's just still frustrating to me.
Yeah,